What's up, Lake Waukomis? It is Zac Morton, your Lake Life real estate expert. Hey, and I just want to take a couple minutes to tell you a little bit about this crazy market that we're in right now. It's been a phenomenal year, and then I also want to touch on projections for next year. The news is feeding us a lot of fear-based stuff, and I just want to show you based on our research and what we're seeing, what we think is going to happen. But first, to start with the lake, I wanted to tell you some stats year over year, what we've done out at Lake Waukomis. So last year, there were a total of 21 homes sold, and the average sale price at the lake was $386,000. This year, from January to today, there have been 22 homes sold with an average price of $422,000. So that is, for Lake Waukomis, that's a 10% increase over last year's sales. Kansas City and the nation as a whole saw closer to 20%, but you gotta think Lake Waukomis, we are a hodgepodge of different size houses, first tier, second tier. It's all over the board. So just to give you an idea, but that's still great. That's still great appreciation. And then personally, just the MOJO team, of course, I live out there. Other members of our real estate team live out there, so we love where we live, love working at home. We all share that same backyard, the lake. But personally, the MOJO team has sold over half of the homes this last year. Out of the 22 homes that were sold, we sold 12 of those. And I think that's, we live there, we're local, we love everybody. We have a mutual benefit too when things go and sell fast. It protects our property values, it protects yours. We have the same mindset when it comes to that. Some other things that kind of set us apart from other agents, just real quick, that I want to touch on, and things that I love to do, is I have a boat. I know the lake. I born and raised out there, so it's really easy. And I have done this a couple times where we've actually signed paperwork on a pontoon boat ride. And if you're watching this, you know who you are. But that's one thing that most agents can't offer you out at the lake, and that's one thing that we do well. Also know all about the rules. I often have realtors, and I love helping everybody from other offices, other parts of town that have clients come to the lake, and actually help them because they've got questions. What are the setback limits? What are the boat, pontoon size, motor size, all that. So that's just stuff that I know because I live there and am part of it, which helps me to be a better resource for buyers that are new to the market and people that want to sell and get their house sold quickly so they can move on and be what they need to be. A lot of people are retiring and moving to Florida, to warmer places, so it's important, when you set that plan that you put the house on the market, that that happens so you can get where you want to go. All right, so enough about me and the lake. I want to touch on some. So those are kind of the stats with Lake Waukomis. It's been great. You guys have been watching the prices go up. It's pretty wacky out there, but to touch on the nation as a whole, just because, the news, where's the bubble, is there a bubble, all this kind of stuff. So I just want to tell you what we're seeing. So I'm going to flash some slides up here as I'm talking, but this first one is called annual home sales, and this is from 1990 to today. And what it basically touches on, back in 2005, we had a peak year where we sold 6.2 million homes in the nation, and then it dipped down a little bit, and now we're back in 2021. We'll probably end up this year at the end of the year selling more homes than we ever have in the U.S. Even though it feels like you hear buyers continually saying like, oh, we can't find anything. There's more qualified buyers now than there ever has been, and as we get into a couple more slides, you'll see why. So hate to bore you with these. I just want to go through real quick because I think it's important. The next one is that I want to touch on is months of inventory of homes for sale. And you can just see, we've all kind of felt that, I think, and the news has been preaching that for a while, but this goes back to 2011. And as you can see, just pretty much goes straight down, and currently we're sitting right around 2.5 months of inventory on the market. This next one I want to touch on is the median sales prices for houses sold. Now we have this laid over a graph as it goes up over the years. These little gray bars that go up and down on this are recessions. And as you can see, real estate has survived most recessions. There's a couple in there where it just dips, but instantly it's bounced right back. And then you can definitely see our little 2007, 2008 blip when it really dropped for a few years there. But other than that, the reason I like to show this slide is I keep hearing people say, we're gonna wait till this bubble bursts and then we're gonna buy. And I have this conversation almost daily with folks. And if you look at this and you were a betting man, you wouldn't keep waiting around for that bet, because real estate just keeps going up. It's an asset, especially even now in an inflationary environment where they're printing money like crazy and there's all kinds of assets are where you want to be. So I really wouldn't wait around. You know, you can get somebody else's. This is just my opinion, but I wouldn't count on that. The next one I won't spend too much time on. You can pause it if you want to watch it. It's just annual appreciation of home prices, where you can see the dip when we had the 2007, 2008, and things got low, and then from then on it's been anywhere from 6 to 5 to 9, and then 18%, which will probably end up at 20% this year. All right, the next one is why we have a shortage of inventory. Here's why. Homes built versus the population growth. So this goes back to the 1930s, and you can see this goes by 10-year decades. 10 years is a decade, so by 10 years. But you can see back in the 2000s, population was at, I believe this is million, 32 million when we built 27 million homes. And then as soon as all that happened, builders quit building. They got scared, they got nervous, they lost a lot of money, they went out of business, and they really haven't ramped back up to where they were right before that crash. So that created a huge deficit, which you see on this this next slide that says new construction, where home builders just dropped down, and they've slowly been building back up, but still not at the levels where they left off, which leaves us with a shortage of supply, which is what we're experiencing right now. And another thing that's not going to help this, unfortunately, because we need inventory like crazy, we need to build houses as fast as we can, is since COVID has hit, prices have gone up, everything's gotten crazy. So what you used to be able to, the price of lumber you could build 10 houses for, now only builds you about 2 houses. And then we've also got all other kinds of supply chain issues that are slowing down construction and making it hard to do. So anyway, boil that all down to a nutshell. It really comes down to supply demand, and it would take a whole heck of a lot black swan event to screw up that from not playing out until we have more of a balanced market with supply and demand. And then this last one, this is something that I hear a lot too from folks that ask me, well, how about all those people when COVID hit that hit pause on their mortgage and stopped making those payments? Isn't there a wave of foreclosures coming? And we're at the lowest level of foreclosures since 2002 that we've ever seen. And the honest truth is, with the way that the price has appreciated almost 20% this year as a nation, you're really, even if you don't make your house payment for a year, to be upside down and to a point where you're going to end up in foreclosures, just really not very likely at all. So we're seeing Q2 numbers were 0.51% foreclosure rate, which is the lowest it's been since the last 20 years I've been in the business. So anyway, all those things said, we're expecting around 16% appreciation on prices over next year. We had close to 20% this year, and it's just going to keep going until we kind of get caught up on our supply. So that's about it. Just to touch, I don't only specialize in property at Lake Waukomis. Our team also services the Kansas City metro area. In Missouri and Kansas, we're going to sell over 225 homes and help over 225 families in the KC area this year. So if you need help outside of the lake or have friends or family that do, please introduce them to us, have them reach out to me. And you can also check us out on Google. Google right now has us rated as the top agent in the KC metro area. And you can go on there and check us out and verify that yourself. If you have any questions, please feel free to give me a call, shoot me a line, shoot me an email, send me a pigeon, however you want. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions around this or want to see other information, drop me a line and we'll get that to you as well. Thank you.